started now.
Well, like the banter will get there.
Yeah, the banter. We'll figure out a formula. Oh wait, we're recording. It's time to figure out the formula right now. Yeah.
What's the secret formula?
Were you SpongeBob watchers?
Yeah.
You both SpongeBob watchers?
Yeah, I actually watched SpongeBob the other day.
You did watch SpongeBob the other
I
day?
did.
Which episode?
It was, I don't know, it was just a bunch of random ones because they on Game Pass they put the SpongeBob game, like the rehydrated.
Oh, yeah.
remake, and I downloaded it for my daughter to just like play on.
These are
I was
great.
like, you know what? Let's watch some SpongeBob. It's a classic.
Okay. What's your favorite SpongeBob episodes?
The OG ones, like the first 3 seasons.
Okay.
Favorite episode? Dang, I'm watching them all.
I got one. What's the hash slinging slasher?
Yeah, the hash pinging, the rash clinging, the hash pinging slasher.
I like the Pretty Patties one where he quits and
That's a
like
good one.
he drops
Solid.
out of his own job and sells colorful.
I like the one when
patties.
Patrick's like, "It's a giraffe," when he's in there like doing
Pull
the
the bubble.
bubbles and shit. I love when they do like the human zoom ins on things. They're just absolutely fucking
Super
horrifying.
detail. You see like all the sweat and the mucus.
Yeah,
Like,
ew.
Who draws those?
I know,
That's, like,
right?
unsettling.
Jesus. Anyway, welcome to Karma and Tranquility, everybody. Yeah. What did everyone fill their time with the past couple weeks?
I've been staring at my ceiling, a lot of thinking, a lot of like internal thinking about what I'm gonna do in my next couple months of my life.
Mhm.
It's a lot of that, a lot of like just like reflection.
Yeah.
Missing Jared because he's been at these concerts. I'm like, where's my guy at?
Yeah, I've just been at work. That's it.
And working.
Yeah.
Work and home while you're living your best life.
Stop that. It's not true, because guess what? In 5 days it was over and now I'm back to hell.
It's better than my 5 days. What about you, Willie? What 5 days would you have rather had?
I'd rather have Jared's 5 days where a
Right?
customer
Yeah.
didn't try to fight him over $100.
Yeah. We don't need to go back down that road. But long story short, Squilliam had a customer give him some shit this
I'm a
week.
good guy, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, as you can tell. He's a little flustered. Yeah.
Screw that guy.
Yeah, I saw Fall Out Boy twice and a band called I Don't Know How But They Found Me. I think I talked about them last week. I think that's the band that I was recommending. We listened to them in the car. We'll talk about more about band recommendations later. But anyway, I went to Madison Square Garden for the first time. Guys, Brendan feature. All right, we're back after the dog commercial. Yeah, I went to Madison Square Garden for the first time. I don't understand the hype with that place. I mean, I get it because of the history, but I personally thought it was like really small compared to some stadiums. They also had like flags in there that said like Billy Joel played there like 99 consecutive shows at that venue. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. They had one for Harry Styles too. I guess it was, I forget if it was like, I could be completely butchering it, but it was like 15 or 30 like shows consecutive. He played for this new album or whatever. He just kept playing at that venue. How can you play at 99 and not just go for the 100 if you're like Billy Joel?
Maybe that's why, though. Like, 99 is cooler than 100. You know
I
what
guess.
Like,
I just didn't, they had these
That's your hot
flags.
take.
Yeah, there we go. They had these flags in there about these bands. I was like, that's crazy. Like, I had to do more research on like why that. Maybe because it's literally the venue in New York City, but like
yeah, it's
there's
just the
something.
history.
Yeah. So I just didn't. But it seemed smaller. The ceilings were cool. And then I went to Baltimore for the other one. Thank God. Like 2 days before that bridge collapsed. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, crazy.
Jesus.
That was scary.
Yeah, I don't know how that. We don't even gotta get into that, but like that's crazy. I don't understand how stuff like that happens. Like, you're a ship driver and you do that for, and like, how do you?
It looked like you ran into it. Like, like I know we don't want to get into it, but like the boat turned off. It looked like he'd steered into it. I'm like,
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
That's weird.
Listen, if he's listening to this podcast, he's gonna think we're idiots. That's not how it went.
Yeah. I can't speak on it. Wasn't there, but like. what
Yeah,
the fuck?
there's a lot of conspiracy theories about it too.
Sorry
but,
that anybody was on that bridge. Shit's scary.
Yeah, I can't even think about it. It's fucking crazy. Anyway, guys, we got a couple good bangers here today. We got Barely Legal from Is This It and Dancing Shoes from the Arctic Monkeys.
Mm-hmm.
How we feeling about these? We got some stuff on them ready to go.
Got some notes.
Yeah. You guys all know both of these songs already.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your, like, before we give it a listen over, what are your first impressions of Barely Legal? Or not first impressions, but thoughts on it?
Let me think. I could like kind of picture the song going in my head. First impressions, I kind of want to think like when was the first time I actually heard the song. I wish I could like think of that exact day and moment.
Yeah.
It is. I do like it. It feels like that garage rock again, and like that's
Yeah.
how this whole first album is for the Strokes, or Barely Legal, where it's like that garage rock, and that stuff I love is fun.
Yeah.
So it's a really fun song.
I don't want to get too into it, obviously, before we give the listen and the analysis, but I will say that this is the song, when I saw the Strokes live, like, when I heard them play it, I was like, oh shit, this band's, like, for real. Because I look back at their set list, they opened up with Evening Sun, which is, like, a weird song to open up with, and then Barely Legal is, like, in the middle, and I just remember, like, like the jump part, and, like, I was obsessed with that. Like, when you hear it live and when it's louder, you, like,
that's
feel
gotta
it
be
more.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, that was the song. And they played a lot of good songs on that set list that I don't even, like, remember, like, appreciating. Like, they played Meet Me in the Bathroom, they played Evening Sun, they played Soma, they played The Modern Age. And, like, I don't remember, for some reason, Reptilia, and Barely Legal, and obviously The Adults Are Talking are the ones that I, like, remember, and Evening Sun, because I was like, this song's weird, like, it's, like, weird to open up with.
Yeah.
They're, like, the 4 that I remember, but the other ones were, like, blurs. They played, like, 9 songs, because they were opening up for the Chili Peppers. Which I think is crazy. But anyway, guys, let's give this guys a listen. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Did you say let's give this guys? Let's give this song a listen, guys. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, we just gave Barely Legal another listen here. What are we thinking? What are we thinking, Will?
Oh, a lot of thoughts. Like, this is like another thing I've been saying too. Like, this with the Strokes, they keep freaking growing on me, and like. This is a song where I started off kind of not liking it, to be honest. Compared to the other songs. I'm trying really hard not to compare each song to a different song, because we're just talking about this one song. But just comparing it at first to different songs, I was like, I don't really like this. I would skip it. But now, like this past week, putting it on every once in a while and listening to it now, just freaking growing on me, man. Like,
What didn't you like about it originally?
It just, at first, I guess I just wasn't paying attention. It just didn't bring that kind of, like, it didn't hook me at first. I don't know if it's just, like, I'm getting older or, like, my taste is changing in, like, music.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm not sure what it is. It just didn't catch me at first. Like,
Right.
usually a song, like, when I first, like, when I would first listen to a brand new song, if it didn't catch me, like, the first 5-10 seconds, I wouldn't like it. And now I kind of give it more of a chance. Like, I listen to the whole thing and then decide if I like it.
How long ago did you first hear this song, though?
This has only been like, I've been listening to the Strokes like 2-3 years, so
Okay, so not.
that's what I'm saying. I
not
don't
a
know when I
super
first
long
heard
time ago.
this one though. I wish
Okay.
I could remember the exact day.
Okay.
My memory's not the greatest.
Yeah.
What do you think, Manny?
I like it. It's one of like the first ones that I heard like that wasn't like their mainstream like singles, you know. And I don't know. I always liked it. I like the rhythm of it. It's like a fun little turn. You know what I mean? Compared to like some of the songs on this album are very slow or like more melodic, and this one just kind of has like it's like a little wave, you know, and it maintains that same thing. It doesn't really change. So I've always liked it personally. What about you?
Yeah, I without getting like too deep into the rankings conversation, like I like the song, and like it holds a special place in my heart with it being like the one that like stood out to me live first. Cause it's crazy to like think about them now, like the fact that they can still play like these songs and still like sound just as good, and it makes sense. It's not like one of those weird things where, you know, you make a Dumb and Dumber 2 with 2 O's and they're old as shit and they can't act the same and it's just cringe. Like
Right.
that's not the same thing when they play this. I know Julian said like he cringes when he has to play the song, but I don't think it's like because of the music, it's because of some of the lyrics in it.
Has he
Sorry.
said why? Like the lyrics?
He put in Barely Legal kind of makes me cringe a little bit. I get it. It's sassy and youthful, and I don't judge it or think about it, but these days I make what I feel like I want to hear.
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand what he means, but these days I make what I feel like I want to hear. I make things that don't register as high on my own personal cringe meter, but what that means to other people, I can't say. I can only gauge it by the way it makes me feel or according to my own personal standards. So it's clear it's like a lyrical thing.
So you think he just like outgrew the lyrics,
Yeah,
basically?
yeah, I'd say so. I don't think it's a song where he's like, oh, we played this one too much, I can't stand it. It's probably just like when he's singing it, he doesn't connect with it the same way as when he was like in his 20s.
And I was like, that's another thing, like with the meaning and the lyrics of the song. It was like, it not like it's cringe to me. It didn't really catch me.
Yeah.
But now I'm not listening to it. I love the music and everything. Part of
Yeah.
it. Just the meaning of the song. Like I'm a kind of like storytelling kind of song person. That's why I like a lot of like rappers when they tell like a story through their music.
Yeah.
Like Kendrick Lamar, some of those other people. When you have like also like a story in your song, that's what also catches me usually too. I didn't really like the meaning of the song though.
Yeah. Well, it's just about meeting someone who just turned legal and engaging them. Like that's
It's a little creepy.
yeah, and like I think that's why he's like it's like weird now to think about. You know what I mean?
No, it makes sense. Yeah.
Like this was written in early 2000s. Like it's different. It's,
And he was
it's different.
younger. We gotta say that too. It wasn't like he's like his current age now.
Oh no. Yeah,
You know
it
what I
wasn't.
mean?
It
So it's
wasn't
like-
weird. It's just
yeah.
like it.
But as you
now,
get older, yeah, it's kind
Yeah.
of like, oh, like
But
that's
was it-
not. Yeah,
I'll just say sorry. Wasn't it about his dad though, not him?
that would make
Father-
sense because his dad.
Because his father, like he had,
yeah.
his parents got divorced, and then like his father was the one that was talking to like a girl that was
Younger,
barely legal.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
why I think he doesn't like talking about it now.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
That's.
Yeah,
I mean
never
that's.
mind.
I didn't know anything about that. I
That's what I
just
read.
read. Oh, okay, I just read off of like a song fact that says the angry snarling track finds Strokes frontman Julian getting friendly with a naive girl who's just reached the legal age to engage in sex.
We could probably do a whole episode just on his dad.
yeah.
'Cause that-
yeah. Right.
that
You've
shit
seen
is
this so
crazy.
many. I don't know that.
You know,
much.
he's credited for inventing supermodels. Like
What?
yes, you didn't know about that?
No.
He
See, I don't know
invented-
much about his dad.
Yeah, his dad invented like the concept of a supermodel, signed the first supermodel, and like I could be butchering this portion of it, but obviously like the dude had a family and was just off with like this younger pretty girl, and obviously like things happen. I don't there's a reason that like he doesn't have like the best relationship with his dad, and
Yeah.
I think that's why. But apparently, without getting like too deep into it, without having everything in front of me, he was like nowadays like that's the type of guy that probably get canceled. Like the things
I
he
do
was doing.
see a
He was-
comment about what you're saying.
Yeah,
It's about
yeah.
his dad's relationship with a 16-year-old model that
Yeah.
he
There
had
you
an
go.
affair
Okay.
with.
See, I didn't even know she was that young.
41. Bro.
Yeah, and like, but he basically like came up with the concept of supermodels. Like, isn't that crazy?
That's weird.
Like, and but that's why like Julian has such a like a diverse upbringing of like didn't he grow up in like I know he's from New York, right? But he spent a lot of time like overseas.
Yeah.
Like, his dad was traveling.
Oh, yeah,
a
yeah.
lot.
Because that's how they met, like,
Yeah, that's how they
between
met.
schools and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So in like this weird way, like I wonder if like his dad wasn't in that profession and doing what he was doing. Like,
Yeah.
I wonder if Julian ever even discovers music the way that he does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah,
What's cool about the way that we're doing this is, like, we, all three of us love the bands, but, like, I don't think any of us know, like, the deep details that we'd like to on everything.
Yeah.
So what's cool about this is like it's forcing us to kind of not forcing us, but it's allowing us to do because it's cool to know like this stuff
Yeah.
about the bands that we want to talk about so much. So like obviously we don't know if those sources are real. Like it's coming from a Reddit comment. I think the thing that I read is the more I guess the better. I mean either one's kind of like I
Yeah.
mean, the first one's like it's not like bad, but it's just like
That's what
like
it said
he said
on-
cringe for an older guy to be
Yeah.
singing. But this
Right.
one that we're talking about is there's no source to it. It's just like hearsay.
That's what it says on Genius.com, and usually I feel like they're right
Genius
because they
says it
talk to
too?
the artist. Yeah,
Oh.
like it says, interestingly enough, Julian's father, John Casablancas, infamously had an affair with a 16-year-old model when he was 41.
I
The
think
irony
he-
of the situation
Yeah,
could
go
be a
ahead.
jab at the father, who he was known to have issues with.
Well, I wonder if like, again, I could be wrong, but didn't he have like, does he have like half siblings as a result of this, or
Oh,
I don't know. I
don't
feel
know.
like that was, I don't know. Maybe that wasn't part of it, or maybe it was just like a rumor. Who knows at that point? Because like, dude was all over
He
the
does.
place. He does. Okay.
Several half siblings, including an elder sister from his father's first marriage and 3 other siblings from his father's third marriage.
Okay. All right.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
I feel you, Julian. My parents also split and got back together and had kids, so I'm like, what the fuck?
yeah.
Yeah, it could be a weird thing. So, but
Parents.
that just kind of when you learn that kind of stuff, like some of his music makes sense. Like, think of like Human Sadness,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he's an emotional person, and it probably stems a lot from like that kind of stuff. I feel like we're not even really talking about the song anymore.
We're not.
But yeah, it's all right.
Well,
That's
listen.
good that like he was able to like.
I'm glad
make that
Manny's
outro.
referencing human sadness.
Yeah, yeah.
That's good.
I just want to say, I went back and listened to it a couple of times. I have more of an appreciation for it.
Good. That's awesome. I'm respecting
Yeah.
that 5 you gave it more and more now.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm
It
hating
deserves that.
myself on that original high 3 that I gave
Yeah.
it. Fucking dumbass.
The old bass line is just, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, that's the only time I'm ever gonna make that mistake again. Never backpedaling again. Mark my words. You said something that I wanted to elaborate on. Now I can't fucking remember. And at this point, I don't remember if it was about the song or about his fucking dad.
About his dad.
I can't fucking remember. So until I remember, let's talk about the music. I guess I'll start. First of all, let's get our phones off the table, because last episode, to the fans, I'm sorry, but mostly through the episode, all you can hear is in like certain parts. I don't know if you guys heard it.
My phone's on
Yeah,
silent.
Then it's probably my phone.
my
I'm
phone is
the
also
idiot.
on silent.
Is it?
there.
Oh, then I'm the idiot. Yeah, but like I
Jared's
swear,
a popular guy.
I thought I had it in my pocket the whole episode. I don't know how, but anyway.
Jared is flexing his text on us.
Oh, listen. Text us from Twitter telling me which Funko to buy next. That's all it fucking is. And Vikings nonsense. I don't really need to give a shit
The
about.
Vikings didn't sign anyone again today.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
all it is.
Fucking
Like,
idiots. Anyway, I'll start with it. So, instruments. I mean, it's kind of. There's two things. Number one, it's kind of hard for me not to pick the guitars in this, because there's literally like 2 like iconic guitar parts in this. It's
Yeah.
and then there's a like there's
Yeah.
2 like it's like, because in like Soma you got the and like that's the main like, and also I guess you got the like. These guys are so good at like making you interested in like guitars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why I love this band. Like you got the normal rhythm guitar, which is just going and then you got the other one that's going and then you got one that's just doing the basic rhythm. Like there's
You
so
got the
much
bass in the background. Like,
well, the bass is good too. Like the other thing I was gonna say, I don't know if you guys pick up on it, but when he goes before the comes in, the bass goes. It has like a really cool like noise to
Yeah.
it, which is kind of like
oh yeah.
yeah, just kind of like in the which song it was in Soma, when the bass comes in, it's like boom, it's going up in this song. It's like
Yeah.
like it's like I love when basses like do that. It's such a stupid little thing, but the guitars are big for me in this one.
Yeah.
Between what
Yeah.
Nick is doing and what Albert's doing.
Yeah, it carries the whole song pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah. What do you think? Is that your?
Yeah, well, I just love the distortion of it too. Like, I love that style of music. I'm trying to think. Was it like who sings that song? It's like a really old song. It's like the 70s. You Really Got Me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has like that. Yeah, it has like that distortion.
Yeah.
And I think like I read that they basically stabbed their amp to get that sound
shit.
back in the day, because like there was no way to really do it, but they had like this foresight of like, oh, you know what would really sound cool is if like
Oh, in the
if it was-
70s?
yeah, like if this just kind of sounded really distorted, and like that was their way of doing it. They like kicked it in basically. And so it's cool that like when you listen, that's the first thing I thought of when I like started listening to the Strokes, was like, oh, it has like that cool distorted sound to it, and this is like the perfect example of it for them.
Maybe that's really why I really like them, because I do like classical music and like
Yeah.
that like trumpets and like that kind
Yeah,
of
if you go back
distortion.
and watch it or like listen to like those old songs, like they were that type of stuff just didn't exist yet, so they had to get extra creative with it.
That's true. Wow.
What was the band that sings that? Is that the
I feel like I should fucking know this.
is it like the Kinks or something? I don't know.
It's You Really Got Me, right?
Yeah, who sings that?
Yeah,
The
they're gonna be like,
classic.
who are these idiots? It's the
Right,
Kinks.
like-
They're like, who are
okay,
these
see, I
guys
thought
doing
so.
a
I got it
music
right.
podcast and you
Okay.
don't know a song like that? You did
Yeah.
get it right.
Okay,
Yeah,
alright,
I
I
don't
thought
know
so.
off the top of my head. But yeah, that's I agree that's something to listen in. So the guitars are big for you as well.
The guitars are big as well. Yeah, it's just a nice little. All the moving parts of this are really nice. They fit together so well.
Yeah.
beat. So, we just watched a little TikTok by Maddie Gregg Music, who kind of did like a little in-depth of the song. So if you have TikTok, I would go check that out, because I am no expert and cannot just repeat what he just said. But the thing that stood out to me was that this song is played like gospel music. So if you have TikTok, like I said, go watch that video. He'll kind of explain a little bit more. I just found that really interesting. Like,
It's basically chord progressions or chords that are being used the way that they're being used, without getting too technical, which is really cool.
I'm just not great at explaining it because I don't even know it myself. I just thought that it was really interesting, like how it's similar to that.
I don't know enough about gospel music to like. I get like what he's getting at, but like I don't know enough about what chords
I know
like gospel.
nothing about gospel music.
Yeah,
Well,
but
I'll-
it's He's right. Like check out that video. It does go in like deep into like what they're doing with chord progression on this type of song.
I see what he means though, because as a kid I was raised in the church, so I a little fortunately know a lot of gospel music, and it's just like, oh, okay, that's cool. And there was like a lot of rock that they played too, like rock gospel, and I was like, I didn't really like that stuff, but I was like, it's better than some of the other stuff, so that's cool.
Yeah.
But no, besides that, like you guys said, the guitars, just like them trading off between the two is really fun, and like the part when it's quiet, I gotta look at the lyrics because
The drums are definitely. I don't want to like gloss over the drums either. Like they're a big deal in this. Well, they're a big deal in this song too, especially when you're listening to it live. Like it's a whole nother thing. Like he's really like he's really like working up there for.
Yeah, it's a type of song like from a drummer's standpoint that like if you mess up, you'll know because it throws everything off. Sometimes you can cover it up and fill and things like that, but with this song, like it's very high energy, and I could see him just having to be like laser focused during this song.
But yeah, I agree. Like if he fucked up on the drums, you definitely would notice right away. And I love the part where like after each line of Julian is like, I want to steal your innocence, like those drums there, and then the silent parts, and those little solos, the guitars are just like playing with each other, like
Yeah.
that's really fun too.
Yeah. It's the music in this is great. And again, like I can't stress enough, like the live version will give you a whole nother like appreciation for it. It's crazy. Julian's vocals, like again, like a highlight, as always. I feel like this just goes without saying. So I'm there's definitely songs where I know you guys probably think too. There's songs that you can think of that are like, holy shit, like Julian's vocals on this. For me, there's a few on this album. Of course, they're always going to be good, but like some of them, they just really stand out. I don't think this is one of them for me, but like if you're still looking for something to get like what Julian's like vocals capabilities are, this is still a good one to like, get that from this time of the Strokes period.
Yeah.
I'm sure we all have different songs that you like appreciate his vocals more on. So I don't know if this is one of your guys' favorites for his vocals or not.
I'll say like his vocals still shine through.
Yeah,
like,
for
even
sure.
like has like where like he plays with the words a little bit, stretches them out, like misbehave.
Yeah.
That stuff is still really fun. Yeah, so his vocals are good in the song.
Yeah. You got lyric stuff for us?
Remember, I didn't really like this song too much. So like, I tried to dig into the lyrics, but I was like, I just can't relate this. And like, we kind of know the meaning.
Yeah,
of
I think like lyric wise, definitely isn't one of like the best or even like coherent, if that makes sense. But this is definitely, like you guys said, music wise, it's a good one to listen to if you kind of want to see what they're capable of. It's a little different than like what we've heard before. The first couple songs.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's a little bit like of a faster pace, and they'll take like that little break in between, but for the most part, it's just a very fast paced song. So while the lyrics don't really, and I'm normally a lyrics guy, it's not like the best in that terms. I think the music overall is really, really good in this song.
Yeah.
The one line I did write down though, that kind of stuck out to me. I liked was I want it all, but just can't figure out nothing. In the previous song we talked about was Soma. I don't know if they did this on purpose, but like the meaning of Soma was like the drugs that they took in that story, but also like kind of like being that one line was being like paralyzed by your choices, and like crap, my freaking phone turned off. I want it all, but just can't figure out nothing. Is like maybe he's talking about like his dad's perspective, like he wanted it all but couldn't make a choice of what to do with the right thing or the wrong thing, or like maybe it's just that line itself, like you want it all but you're just stuck and paralyzed. I was like, maybe it's a Soma reference, but I really like that line in that song.
Yeah. So nothing like your lyrics. That's the piece that stands out to you the most.
Yeah, it was kind of a basic song. It wasn't like very like lyrically amazing.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So lyrics, not one of our favorite lyrically, which is okay. I think musically this thing stands on its own for it. Before we get to rankings, I just want to go through some of your fan stuff. This one had a ridiculous amount of upvotes and comments, 50 comments and 308 upvotes, we're not reading all 50 comments, obviously. So I'm looking at some of the top ones. We had LOASN said fucking banger, good. And then Independent Bad 8058 said Julian relates to it more and more as he gets older, which I think is a joke. Because then someone posted a weird gif of that guy from that movie from Pirates, the newest Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't know what that.
Oh, didn't see it. I don't know.
I don't know. It's a Dune guy for sure.
Okay.
Ganirni 2001 said, I bought Is This It the week it came out. I'm from New York and was living on Long Island at the time. I had read about the Strokes in music magazines, and being from New York was excited to check them out. I was listening to the CD in my car on the way home. I thought, Is This It? The Modern Age Soma and all cool and interesting, but when Barely Legal kicked in, I was straight up floored. It was one of those, hold up, I need to pull over and listen again moments. I've been a fan ever since.
Okay,
so
wow.
That's a good story there.
I could see that being like a thing. Like if you heard this for the first time, you're just cruising around. Yeah, and you're from New York. Like it makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Then we had Caitlin SR saying so good with like 6 O's. Give Me One Margarita 1 said amazing and I could listen to it over and over. We had Goddess of Drought. She said, always liked this song. Last summer I heard it playing in a coffee shop the same day I was going to see the Strokes. Coincidence, right? Then I looked up and saw Fab sitting at the counter. He was the nicest, and I'll love the song forever now. Yo, that's
insane.
Big fucking deal.
Yeah.
She said, only marred by the fact that after I sent the pic we took to my husband waiting outside, he responded Albert Hammond Jr. So he obviously didn't know who it was. They both kind of have the curly hair,
yeah,
so I guess
they both have hair. Yeah,
yeah. If you don't know the band like that, it should be fine.
That's funny. Yeah.
Someone said Spock to the Future said so good it should be illegal. Okay, love that. Mysterious Ninja said it's my least favorite on the album, but that just proves how good this album is. Even the least fave is really good.
Yeah.
See, like that's a really good comment. I think that's
how I feel. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I think I said one of us said that like either 2 weeks ago or something like that. We were like the thing is there's no bad song on this album. There's just like our favorites and our least favorites. But a least favorite song doesn't mean it's a bad song. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm glad someone else said it.
The way I was thinking about it was like, it's like vanilla ice cream, and then you have all these other flavors. Like vanilla is great, but I wouldn't always choose vanilla. I'd rather get these. But sometimes the vanilla hits.
Yeah.
Like, I go back to that classic.
We got a couple of people saying it's their best song to ever exist. Ooh, a good bit of that.
I want to see like how people think like, oh, this is the best song. I'm like, this is a mid song.
Yeah.
Like that's their best song. Like I want to be in their mind for a second.
Yeah. Upbeat Organization 6 said I overlooked it for so long, but it had recently been one of my favorites in their whole discography. I love it. Yeah, it is a standout. I personally don't think it's their best one. I don't think it's anywhere close to their best one.
Yeah,
but,
no, me either.
Yeah, but there's so many people here that are saying it's their favorite, like more than any of the other posts that we've made. So it's definitely like it sticks with people.
If you think back to the time, and I know you guys are younger, so it's harder, especially for you, Will. But like I could see that it just feels like a song for that time period that like when you would hear it, oh, like this is. It has kind of like a old school sound to it in a weird way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because like, it's like garage rock.
Right, but it hadn't been done in so long that it also just came off as like very fresh.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's maybe why it resonates with a lot of people, especially if you were in your like late teens, early 20s and you heard this, like I could totally see why this is one of your all-time favorites.
I was 1 years old.
1 year old. I had a whole personality. I had goals and aspirations. He was
shitting
point.
his pants, but then wiping his butt. Like Will wasn't even. Yeah, Will was shitting his diaper. But so many people, by the way, I'll end the comments with this. So many people were telling us to listen to the rough version from the EP, just like with Modern Age. So we'll do that as well, and we'll comment on that. Yeah. What?
I think didn't I say that like doesn't this song have a solo in the
Yeah,
it
has a solo. We'll give that a listen. We'll give that a listen in a second. But let's get to rankings here. Who wants to go first? You? First. Okay, go ahead.
Youngest first. Mm-hmm. I give it a very high 3. I wanted to give it a 4, but like I'm trying to be like Manny said, trying to be very specific with my rankings now and be more like very
be methodical.
Yeah. So I give it like a high 3 where I like it. It's a great song. It's a good song. I won't always keep it on. I might skip it. I probably won't even look it up. If it comes on, I'll be like, okay, this is cool. But whatever the high 3 meaning was, again, just like okay, or good but not great.
Yeah,
not
it's in the
amazing.
middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I would say for me, I would say like it's like a 3.5, a 3.6, just because it is a very good song, but the lyrics aren't the greatest. Like if the lyrics were a little bit better, I could see this being a like a straight up 4.
Yeah. It
But I'd
served
say
its
like a 3.
purpose.
Yeah,
for,
yeah. It's
like
right. Yeah,
for what it is.
exactly. Yeah. So I would say I'm gonna say 3.6 would be like my
Yeah.
exact pinpoint for it. What
My-
about you?
My brain's telling me a 3.8.
That's what I was thinking.
That's
like-
originally what I wanted to say, but then I'm like,
Yeah.
are the
That
lyrics
seems
that
right. Yeah.
like if the lyrics were a little bit better, then
Yeah.
like okay, 3.8,
Yeah.
4, like whatever. But I had that exact thought too.
I think the little notch. I keep talking about this, but if you guys heard it live, I think you have like
that makes sense.
just
yeah.
musically,
Yeah.
you'd be like,
It would throw
because
us in the
I
floor.
promise it really the louder because like again this whole album is supposed to sound like analog, but when you hear it like live, it just with more power to it. That's where my mind's going for it. I pretend this version doesn't even exist. I just watch it
You
like
just
live.
hear the version like that
Yeah.
you saw live.
Yeah,
Okay.
so like that's why I have it that little bit of a notch. But like you were saying, Will, like I think we're doing better with kind of like reining in our rankings because we're thinking like, is this song better than Hard to Explain when we get to it?
Right. Yeah.
this song better than Take
once
It or
you
Leave
get
It?
to like 2 albums, 3 albums from now, you might really look back and be like, oh my god,
Yeah.
I gave that song a 4, but
Yeah.
then this one like this is
Yeah.
better. Is it a 3? Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I even tried to like listen on like different devices. So I played like the audio off my phone.
Okay.
I played it off my the one
a good
smart
idea.
TV. I played it straight through my headphones just to give it that different feeling of it.
Will's a scientist.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
It
that's, I
works.
love
Yeah.
this stuff.
It
Like the
works.
music, sound, anything like that.
Yeah.
Like how it's made. I fucking love this
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
So I was just giving it different chances, different tries to see if it would change my mind. And so like it was like low 3 in the beginning, but now it's like high 3.
Yeah.
Growing on me.
Well, that is why my friend. Oh my god,
Low
that's
right.
barely. That's
Put
barely.
the beep in there.
Yeah, put the beep. That's that was barely legal. The 4th track off of Is This It, the debut album of The Strokes. Now we're moving on to the 4th track of the debut album for Arctic Monkeys, to Dancing Shoes. For once, I feel like we're having a similar vibe song
Yeah.
one after another because both of these guys are a little bit like upbeat. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for sure.
Not a little bit, like a lot upbeat. So this is another song that when I watch like the live videos and stuff, it seems like a lot of the songs from the debut, like for the Monkees, like all those songs like look like they're a blast live, like
Yeah.
all of them. Because again, it's like when they first started, so it's like they have that like that energy and that force to it. So before we get into it, let's give it a listen, and we will be right back. Cue the beep. All right, guys, that was the really upbeat, awesome, everything and filled with every type of feeling and emotion in that song, "Dancing Shoes" by the Arctic Munchies. Arctic Munchies.
Yes. That's their name.
God, we can make a compilation of all my fuck ups I've had that just make no goddamn sense. We'll throw Karma Frapp in there too. That's a good one. But I'll start with this one. Like that was the first time hearing it back over in a while, and like to me, when I think back this album, like a lot of the songs like blend together for me, like because this album's just it's not my favorite. So a lot of them like when I'm thinking of one, like I think it's another one, but this one like I actually really enjoyed. Like it's shorter. The whole thing is kind of fast paced. Like it's not like a weird like tempo change, which I'm like all for sometimes. But like when we were talking about Fake Tales, like I didn't like the dun 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 dun. Like that's not like my favorite. It wasn't my favorite riff that they've ever done. But with this one, like the dun dun dun, and then the like I fucking
Yeah.
like I love that shit. So I enjoyed like listening to this one back over. I think this one at least, and well, you're the lyrics guy. You might have more info, but I think this one's another situation where like the lyrics just serve as what it is, just a dance song.
Yeah.
Like it's like put on your dancing shoes, let's go. Like I think it's just about like following the lead and like are you like up for it? Let's do it. Like I don't think these are two songs that like there's too much to dissect at that point. But either way, let's talk about first impressions or impressions after listening to it. Those are mine. What do you got?
I think you hit the nail on the head because like this is the first time where the songs are very similar in that like you don't need to take too much stock in the lyrics. I don't think these are meant to be like lyrically thought over songs.
Yeah.
It's just like a fun, which I think a lot of this album is. It's just kind of like angsty, loud fun. Love the drumming in this. This is like one of my favorite examples of
I
drumming.
just love the drums in this album.
Yeah,
it
right.
sounds like they've been doing it for 20 years. The
It's
way
just
that
it's
they
crazy
play.
that like they're so good at this age
Yeah.
and at this stage to be creating stuff like this. Like this wasn't, it wasn't that long prior that they were like just handing out demos like please listen to this. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So it's pretty crazy, but it is one of my favorite drumming examples for sure. What about you, Will?
So I was holding in a burp.
You gross fuck. Don't be burping on the podcast. We're professional, for fuck's sake.
I held it in. What was that?
Something to listen to when you listen back
Are
over.
you guys sober right now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, so
You're
I'm trying to get like back into podcast mood. We've been away for 2 weeks. You gotta get
I'm in a
back.
goofy mood, and
Yeah.
Jackie's making me laugh.
Maxley.
I think that's like the first thing I said from like the first song. Like this is how albums like going out on the town and just having fun and just fucking letting loose. So that's like 100% what this song is.
Pulling your
There's
pants
no
down.
pull your pants down, give no fucks, rock
Yeah.
out with your cock out, do whatever the hell you want.
Alright.
Hold on, I'm like, hold on.
Alright.
Are these lyrics
Jesus
in the song?
is over there, dude. Relax. He's oh my god.
Cue the beep. Cue the
Yeah.
beep. We need a beep. Hold on.
I'm a grown man. No.
No.
But no, this is just like a super fun song. Lyrics, I gotta stop saying every song is fun. This is
I don't think you've said every song is fun. I just think the songs that are fun you've said are fun. The
gotta
song
get
Barely
different
Legal,
words.
The Modern Age is fun, like, but like Soma isn't like a fun.
You guys didn't have fun listening to Soma?
I had fun, but I know.
No, I know. I'm just joking. I know you guys did.
Okay.
It's
Gotcha,
not like
gotcha.
the one that you're like sitting there like bopping to like, wow,
Yeah,
this is really
you're not
fun,
letting your
guys.
cock out like
Yeah.
Will says. Yeah.
But lyrics, one lyric that stuck out to me. You seen your future bride, yeah, but it's also absurd for you to say the first word, so you're waiting. Fuck. That's not the lyric I
Part of
wanted.
it. Oh, it's not
Is
the
that
lyric
not the
you
lyric you
wanted.
wanted?
Okay. There's no fuck in there.
Don't cut that.
Okay. I'm not cutting shit.
This is the embarrassing we're back at it again episode.
Yeah.
There we go. You seen your future bride, it's so absurd. Wait. Yeah, that was it. I just said it wrong.
Jesus Christ.
Will
Let's,
we need to
wow,
drug
we
test
really
Will.
need a beep there. All right, try it again. Tell us what you're thinking here with this lyric.
Yeah, you seen your future bride, so absurd.
Hold on. Wait, what is happening right now, Will? Will like glitch.
Do I
or
need
something.
to read it for you? Let's see. You seen your future bride, yeah, but it's so absurd for you to say the first word, so you're waiting, and the only reason that you came.
You just read the same thing he read.
Yeah, but I was just making sure. I was writing the read.
I'm just not singing it. Maybe that's why.
Okay.
But that lyric is like, imagine you're going to a party, right? And then you see the love of your life. Like, fuck, it's love at first sight. Like, damn. I told myself this wasn't gonna happen, but it's happening.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's not gonna happen. I'm just gonna put on my shoes and just dance. And then if you know,
You didn't have shoes on already?
No,
Are you in the living
Wait,
room?
why are you in the
came-
club without shoes? That's the real question
came in
here.
my moccasins. No. I like that line though.
This is gonna be a fun episode. That's for sure. I think we're waking up a little bit. Yeah, guys. I mean, clearly both of these songs, you listen to them to have a good time. Both of these songs, like there's songs when you see these guys live. If you're in the pit, you're gonna dance. You're gonna jump. Like you're in the seats, you're gonna stand up. It's not one you're gonna sit there and like wave your arms back and forth and cry and have your hand over your heart. Or like it's like you're up and you're partying. Your drinks are spilling all over people. Your cock's out, like Will said. Like that's what these songs are. It doesn't always have to mean something. All right. You know what I mean? You agree?
Would you guys listen to would you guys be in the pit for this song or
Oh, I'd do
no?
anything to be in the pit for. It's just I don't want to spend. How much was it? 1.2K for Arctic Monkeys GA tickets. Like
It was
$500
over
bucks.
6. I think
Yeah.
at the first it was like 600.
It was literally
and then,
$1,200 resale, and
Yeah.
I'm on top of that shit. So like I was on the computer for the Arctic Monkeys, like an hour before the actual pre-sale went on, just to make sure
I signed up for
I
like
was
the
good.
alerts and
Yeah,
stuff.
same.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
but we got in there and immediately like GA was gone, so we
Yeah.
took too long to pick seats out. because we were like, okay, well, do we want to spend $300 on good seats? Because like the good seats were like $300.
Yeah.
But then when we bought them, the good seats were now $800, and our seats were like $300, and we were like, they were still decent
they're
seats.
still good, though.
They were, but like they weren't up there. Like we were at the top of the amphitheater, which you can see everything.
You guys
was
should have
fine.
just started a pit up top.
There wasn't
Nothing
any
ru-
room.
Those chairs.
You don't
dude.
need you
Yeah.
don't need the room. That's the pit. Like
I guess.
you're not getting room in the pit. Like you're
I was also covered in disco balls, so like
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
he made
wow.
us. Well, he made us necklaces that had disco balls around it. It was really cool.
It was like LED like string lights, but I
Yeah.
just like wrapped them around
Yeah, we
myself
went all
and
out.
turned them on when
Yeah.
it got dark.
and
so
I
I didn't
bought
wanna,
like 3 shirts just because I couldn't decide what size was better.
I wonder if like they saw that like up in the balcony. Like, are they fucking wearing disco
the lights are
balls
like
up
bouncing out and fucking blinding them.
there? Right,
The
like
balls kept
who the
falling
fuck
off
is
of
up
me.
there wearing
Yeah.
disco balls? Like what?
I just didn't understand. They had a mirror ball up there for There'd Better Be a Mirror Ball, but like they used it only for that song, I think, right? Wasn't it the
Yeah.
one song?
It
How
came
do you
out at
have
the
it up
end.
there just for that song? It
Well,
was
I
so
mean-
cool. We'll play it for everything on the car.
Well, but then it makes that song like
Yeah.
stand out more.
yeah, but
Yeah.
it's such a
Like when you think of
waste.
Mirror Ball, you're like, oh yeah, they use that
Yeah.
prop. You
It
know?
wouldn't be like a tranquility song.
No,
I mean,
but like when they're playing Sculptures of Anything Goes, it'd be cool to like reflect it. Like I know it's
Yeah.
not the same, but like I
Maybe-
just thought it was crazy they had it up there. You could see it. You're like, when is it gonna come down? I mean, knew when, but like you
they
know.
had a really good set too, though. Like you could appreciate that for now and then.
Oh,
that
it was
when that came
gorgeous.
down.
Yeah. The Monkees, like I don't know if I said this on the podcast or not, but like they were like a top 3, and I've been to hundreds and hundreds, probably almost thousands of concerts like at this point.
just
like,
last week.
Yeah, just last week.
100 concerts last week.
Yeah, and like they're top 3. Like, and that's including in the likes of Paul McCartney, Radiohead, like all these guys. Like, it probably goes Paul McCartney, Radiohead, Arctic Monkeys. Like, that's probably like the ranking. Paul McCartney just solely for who he is, but Radiohead, that show was just like fucking spiritual and shit. That shit was crazy. And then Arctic Monkeys was just everything was on point. The set was gorgeous. The stage was amazing. The venue was great. It was in a safe part of that city where I didn't have to be scared. The
Which is
parking
big
was
for
like,
Jared.
yeah,
Jared
it's big
is,
for me. I'm a pussy when it comes to cities. These guys gotta toughen me up with that.
We're both city kids. Me and Will are city kids. Jared is not a
So
city
there's
kid.
the city mice and you're the country mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Mhm.
Yeah, makes sense, kind
We
of.
gotta take you out to the city sometime.
You call me fucking small bitch.
We just gotta walk around New York and then we chilling.
Well, that's different now. It's all like, it's,
Well, are you from New York?
Hmm?
What
Yeah.
part of New York are you from?
I thought I was from Brooklyn for the longest. And I'm actually on my paper. So I thought everyone was like, yeah, you're from Brooklyn. I'm
Okay.
actually from Queens. So I'm like,
okay.
But it's like Jamaica, Queens.
you're
so it's
all
like,
these what all these guys are writing songs about.
yeah, that's
Poser.
why I'm like,
Right.
I want to live out there, man. It's just crowded and expensive.
New York, I like it. You know, I really do. Like the past couple times I've been there, has been annoying because it's been cold. I want to go in the
Yeah.
summer. So if
Oh,
we want to
yeah,
plan
yeah.
something, like you
That's
can
when
show
we
me
gotta
or
go.
show us around, like
Yeah.
I want to go where I can like not be freezing my ass off and want to leave. Like there's something about it there. Like it is craziness, but it's like it's controlled craziness, at least in the places that you kind of go.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love just the vibe of it. Like I'd love to actually check out Central Park. I only walked through it like once. Not even all the way
yeah.
through it. I just went to that part you can like go up on like the rocks or something. Like it's like
Yeah.
a like thing.
I know
But
what
it
you're
was,
talking about.
but it scared me because there was a dude that was like following us, like obviously following us, and then like cops came, like because we had like 4 girls with us, and like he
Yeah.
was like following them, and when a cop came by, then he veered off. Like he was going when we were going up.
What was he
went up.
following you in? Like just walking?
He was just walking with
Oh.
a hood up and like a mask and a hat. And he was
Yeah,
walking
yeah,
up,
careful.
and then when we're like noticing we were walking down, he was walking down. Like when we were stopping to look, he stopped and like looked weird. Then we were walking down, and this was like in the evening, so it was kind of dark.
Yeah.
And then like cops like came by, and then he like veered off. So like that shit kind of like made me unsettled.
Yeah.
But I'm like that could happen like anywhere. But and then Philly, I had my car broken into. So ever since then, it was after a Marina concert. Or during a Marina concert, I parked my car, and when I came out, I got in, and I noticed everything's like rustled around. I'm kind of the moron that set myself up for that, because when we pulled in, there was a dude in like a vest that like had parking on it, and it looked legit. Like
Did you get scammed by a
I
fake
did get
part?
scammed.
Oh my god.
But like it was in an area where parking should be, and he was parking other cars or like telling other cars to go there. So there's a line of us like parking on this like side street, and when thinking back on it, I'm an idiot because I've gone to so many concerts. But then he was like, I was like, how much? And he's like, oh, like 30. was like, okay.
Like
I didn't
30
like
bucks.
think the fact
He
that
was haggling
confused.
with you.
Yeah, so we parked.
We
And I didn't think anything of it because it was like next to like there's like townhouses and stuff. So I was like, well, it's in front of a house in like a neighborhood. And I parked there, and every single car in there was like broken into.
So what I'm gathering from this portion of the pod is Jared paid $30 in Philadelphia to get robbed.
Yeah. The only thing he got of any value in it. He didn't even take the radio, which was like the most expensive part of the car.
Jared's one of the. This is the only time I've ever heard of someone paying to get robbed.
Yeah. Anyway, this has nothing to do with Arctic Monkeys, but yeah.
It's not the Arctic Monkeys' fault, but wow.
Yeah, not even close. It's my fault on that one. But the person stalking me in Central Park, that's not my fault.
I
But
had a
anyway.
dance off with a stranger in New York, and that was pretty cool.
Did you dance to the Strokes or Arctic Monkeys?
Did you do dancing
it was
shoes
like
by
some,
the Arctic
it was like
Monkeys?
some Dominican music, so I don't know what was being said, but it was a big dude.
Did you win?
I mean, it was like a
Be
5-second
objective.
dance off,
Be
and we were like,
objective.
and just
Yeah.
kept walking. So it was like a
And
time.
then
Would you
made
say
out.
though that you
No,
you guys kissed?
No, I didn't. He was huge. I can't even reach him. Like,
So he picked you up and kissed you
yeah,
then.
like
I
he could have.
don't want to be picked up. I'm not.
Here, boy, let me
It was just a
let
quick,
me
like-
burp you.
I don't know what. I don't know. It was really cool. Though. That was my New
like
York
Tobey
experience.
Maguire.
What we don't know is it was the customer that like riled you up the other day.
Yeah.
By the sounds of it, that
No,
was the
this
same
is
guy.
like a bigger dude. It was two.
We need to
guys.
figure out if we can find that customer, the Arctic Monkeys guy, to talk about
yeah,
these
yeah.
with all the
Yes.
shit that he knows. What do we got else for dancing shoes, guys? Anything else? Any lyrics?
Not
Please
even-
no,
You
no
do it
more
again.
lyrics.
Yeah, I was
No,
gonna
no,
say,
no,
do
no.
it again
No,
for
do
the
it
shot.
again.
Not
Yeah,
even.
no.
About the bride?
It
No.
was just I wonder. I could
Yeah.
not get it out. But you said like their live performances is great.
Yeah.
The one that I would want people to look at if you haven't already is the Glastonbury one. That's the one that on the Reddit I seen that you posted that it's like they have like purple lights in the show. That's
Yeah.
the one I'd look at some of their live ones and that one sounds the best I think.
Okay.
Glastonbury. I don't know. It's in England. I don't know if I'm saying it right.
Yeah, Glastonbury. Yeah, that's right.
The 27. No. I have the best performance in my opinion is the 27. There's also a 2013 one though, but I think the 2017 one's a little bit better for dancing
Okay.
shoes. And I love the bass in the song.
Was the okay? So bass that I was about to ask. I was gonna say is drums like what your and I
Drums,
big
yeah,
thing
for
is.
sure.
Yeah. Again, guys, like this album, this debut album from the Arctic Monkeys. If you're looking for like a really good drum performance, it's just outrageous the amount of skills these guys have from being a first album. Like it literally sounds like it could be like their third album, like when they've been doing it for a while.
Right. Very polished.
Yeah, and like the next album just gets fucking better. Like it's crazy
crazy.
these guys.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, right. Well, it's a preview for the next season.
Have more albums. They kept going.
Oh yeah, no,
They
no.
didn't just break up.
Yeah, no. We're doing this on a band.
Hold
that
on,
has
there's a
one
second
album.
album.
Holy crap, they have
They have
more
more?
songs. Jesus. let's get to fan comments here.
Yeah.
Again, we had a lot. We had 50 on this one too. So let's look at some top comments. Distinct Bell 3032 says, "I hope you know this just started blasting out loud on my computer in my otherwise very quiet lecture hall." So when I played the song for these guys, I forgot that it literally started with "Get on your dancing shoe," and it
Right,
scared the
yeah,
shit out of me.
Just kidding. I thought someone was
Yeah.
screaming. I was like,
Yep. Madeline the Brave said, "I just can't express how much I love this song. Right after I hear the first line, I'm in such a great mood. I play it whenever I'm getting ready to go somewhere. It hypes me up." So yeah, it's a hype song for sure. Sergeant Banana Grabber
What? Hold up.
yeah, said, "Grew up in a similar area. Was 20 at the time. Fucking loved this song. Could put any Arctics tune on the jukebox and turn it into a gig. Old drinking buddy tried to fight them before they became famous, as they all came out in leather jackets, which wasn't a thing in my backwards village. Saw them at Glastonbury in 2007 and loved every single minute."
Wait, hold on. They tried to fight them because they were wearing leather jackets?
Yeah.
What is
That's what I'm
what-
reading here, which is something that that wasn't really done. So maybe they thought it was
No
like,
leather
snotty.
jackets in this town.
I guess.
That's what? Okay.
And what's
Interesting.
funny is that Mambo7733 said, "You've seen your future bride." So he said the shit that Will was stuck on for some reason.
Yeah.
And let's see, we got TTMEF. Glasgow 2013 is so clear of last year's. So he's saying Glastonbury 2013 is like one of the best.
oh, I
For
said
this stuff.
2017.
Yeah. Learn the drums for it today. Fire tune. Wild AD 3071 said that. 33 or 45 said, "Very relevant to all those 20-somethings who grew up in the early 2000s. Paints a perfect picture." So the vibe for sure. And that's what we got. Those are the big comments there. Hey guys, thanks for the engagement on both of these songs. Like crazy good engagement. It sucks like there's so many. I can't. It's gonna take up so much time. But thank you guys for your comments on both of these songs. What are we doing for rankings here? Who wants to go first?
I'm conflicted with this one. Again, kind of like Will said, like I don't want to compare the song, especially to like a whole different band. But damn.
I'll go if you guys don't
Yeah,
know.
go.
I'm a
Yeah,
3.5.
3.5. Okay.
Yep.
All right. What
Yep.
about you, Will? You got.
A 4.2.
Ooh.
Okay.
Was
I
not
know it's a
expecting
simple
that. Yeah.
song, but sometimes I just like the simple songs.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with it. That thing I really wish that I had, it would drove it to a 5 if there was like a solo at the end. And it's like a little, they played like the instruments when he's done talking, singing. I wish it was like a solo. That's what would make it a 5. But it's a fun song. I'm not the best dancer, but I like dancing, and this is a great song. So I'll give it like a 4, 4.2, 4.5 maybe.
Yep. See, I'd replay it. That's why it's a 3.5 and not a 2. Like I gave Fake Tales. Like I would play, and
You
it's
would
quick.
listen to
It's
this, yeah.
quick. Like so
Yeah, it's like a
not-
2-minute song. It
Yeah.
feels like.
Yeah,
It's very short.
It could easily go up to the same score as Barely Legal. Like I could easily also say 3.8, but I'm just 3.5 is where I'm staying. But like it's around that range.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, oh man, I kind of want to give it a 3.8, just like Barely Legal, just because at the time, like I kind of resonate with like some of those older listeners that like you heard this way before, and it was just such a cool song that like I don't know. It's so I'm gonna say also a 3.8. First time that it's a tie.
Yeah, I think we've all been kind of on the same page for the most part.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
these first two songs. Yeah.
I just like this one like a little bit more than the Strokes one, Barely Legal.
Oh wow. Okay. Nice.
Even though like it doesn't tell a story really, it doesn't make me cringe like the other one does. So that's why I give it like a 4 or a 3.
Did it make you cringe
Julian
before?
over here.
Yeah, before you heard about it making Julian cringe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. I didn't think of it like again because I'm not a lyric guy, which I've said before. Like until I deep dive into it, then I get it.
There was one lyric. I know we're not in that song anymore, but yeah, there was one lyric from that song that I was like, ugh, I didn't really like.
Yeah, not about brides.
No.
Okay. Yeah, because you love those bride lyrics. Yeah. Guys, that was fun. I think we warmed up a little bit. What are we listening to these days? I guess I can go first because I already kind of have it in mind. I went to see a band called I Don't Know How But They Found Me. I think I talked about them one of the past two, but the band that opened for them is called Benches. They kind of remind me a little bit of Joe, DJO. They obviously remind me of IDK How. Like they have a hint of Fur. That sounds weird, but there's a band called Fur that
I was gonna say they have fur.
Yeah, no. Like Will knows them. I'd love to show them to you. Like they're phenomenal. They're from like the UK, and they have that like they kind of sound like a classic rock in the modern times type thing. Kind of like the Lemon Twigs. I don't know if you know them.
Is it spelled like fur?
F-U-R. Yeah, but capital F-U-R. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just immediately thought of like going back to SpongeBob, like when they take Sandy's fur and they
Oh my
like tape it
God.
on their
Yeah,
head.
no,
That's the first thing I thought of.
It's not fur, not furries.
Okay.
But there's a band called Benches, and they're phenomenal. So they were the opening bands for them, and I was really glad I was able to listen to them. They have a bunch of EPs and like one album, so they're a fresh band, but they're phenomenal for the they're literally just called Benches. That's what I've been listening to recently. What about you, Will? What you got?
They have a lowercase b in their name.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why artists do that, but like it's cool.
Yeah,
Like
it's
when it's
unique.
all lowercase. I don't know why I like that.
Yeah.
Someone I would like to give a shout out. I've been kind of like listening to the emo music lately. Been kind of like in my
let's go.
upset and a little bit angry, but I'm like I gotta get healthy ways to get it out and not like be mad at people
That's what
that don't
music
deserve
does.
it. Mannequin Pussy. I was telling you this band last week I think. Mannequin Pussy. They just released another
yeah.
album and it
Let's
sounds
be clear.
good.
You're saying mannequin pussy.
Yeah,
Everybody.
yeah, like
Okay.
a mannequin's pussy. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how they got that name, but I love it. And I saw these guys live when the first time I ever heard of them, and I was like, oh, like I just wanted to see what they're about with the name. I was like, oh, that's funny. And dude, this girl.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it the
God.
music or is it the girl in the band?
I mean, it's both, but
Okay.
like this lady, this woman, Missy, is her name.
Makes you
Shouldn't be my
gulp a little
wife.
bit. Yeah.
She's beautiful,
Do it.
man. I can't.
What the hell?
What was it?
He was really trying to gulp.
I try with my throat. My throat's a little dry. she's really
little
short,
dry.
but her range is amazing. I'm not gonna keep talking about her look. She's beautiful, but her range is amazing. Going from like screaming to like singing, that's just super impressive.
I've heard of them. I just can't name anything off the top of my head, so I'll have to give them another listen.
But yeah, and also like their bass player, it's pretty cool. He looks like Dom, their bass player. I don't know if
Oh,
you've
wow.
seen.
Yeah.
But
Well,
like,
the video you sent. Or the
yeah,
picture.
just like a really big dude playing the bass. It was like, oh, this is cool. And like
Yeah.
when she came out, they like messed up her sound. She's like, what the fuck? Like you need to get this going. Like there's people here.
Assholes.
Yeah, so like that, I kind of liked her, like her energy and everything. And they sound really cool. If you like Paramore, I feel like you'll like this band.
Cool.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to check them out. That sounds right up my alley. Well, going back to kind of what we said earlier, like the Kinks. Go back. I know we've all heard that song. It's a very famous song.
Yeah.
Go back and listen to it with like headphones or like a really loud speaker, and you can literally and then think of like the Strokes. Think of like this first album, and it has such a similar vibe that you can't help but think like, wow, like this was one of like the first bands to do what a band would do 40 something years later or 30 something years later. So definitely go back and listen to that if it's been a while for you.
Cool. All right, guys. What do we got? Anything else for these two songs this episode here? Barely Legal and Dancing Shoes, Arctic Monkeys, and the Strokes and the Arctic Monkeys.
Solid songs overall, not bad.
Yeah, bangers. Cool. Well, we are glad to be back, guys. I mean, we didn't take a break from posting. We taken a break from recording. But we are going to finish up the bonus episode here. Like I said, we switched to doing it every Friday, as you guys can see. We're switching between regular solo to then the Voids and the Shadow Puppets because there's just so much we got to cover. And I also didn't think about how the Arctic Monkeys have so many EP songs. We're going to have to probably do like random episodes here and there. I don't know what we're going to do there, but trust me, we didn't forget about anything. But again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in and who's been tuning in, who's been sharing, who's been commenting. We really appreciate it. It makes everything so much better, so much more fun, so much easier for us idiots to talk about shit when you guys are commenting about stuff that we didn't even think about. So it's a big deal. That is about all I got. Are we about ready to say hasta la vista?
Hasta luego.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, the people that have been like messaging me, you guys know who you are. I'll shout you out later when we get to those songs.
Will
but,
just
like,
gets all the fucking messages, I guess.
Yeah, I'm like
Just
a little,
casually talking to Julian.
Yeah.
little agent for you guys.
Yeah.
He's gonna get so big and just leave the pod.
No,
Yeah,
no, I don't want to be by myself.
You're gonna be
I'll bring
Sean
down-
Hayes.
No, never. But yeah, like keep interacting with us is great. All the feedback we've been getting is awesome. And like,
Yeah, it's
seeing
been
your
fun.
opinion. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, because the people that talk to me, they're talking about different songs. So we'll get there. I'll shout you out one day.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, that was episode 4 already. You guys, everyone have a great night and a Merry Christmas, and we will see you guys next week. Hey guys, it's Jared here. Thank you so much for listening to the episode. You can find us on all our socials at Karma and Tranquility, and Twitter, Karma and Tranquil. Our link trees are posted in every single description on every social, so you can access everything that we have to offer. And we will see you every Wednesday for our normal episodes and every Friday for a bonus episode.